I did these questions in the STAR method because I wanted to set up the situation. I wanted to outline what your tasks was. I wanted to identify the action that you took and what it resulted in. It sounds very robotic as I am demonstrating how you might answer these questions, but I am telling you that the more comfortable you get with your own career story, the more conversational this will sound and the more authentic it will feel. Hi folks, and welcome back to HRD TV and our special series on HRBP interview questions. If you're just joining us, I highly recommend that you check out part 1, where we begin diving into some key questions and strategic responses for HR business partner interviews. Today in part 2, we will continue unraveling more complex scenarios and crafting responses that showcase your HR expertise and your strategic thinking. These questions are designed to not only prepare you for your interviews, but also to broaden your understanding of the HRBP role and its impact within an organization. So let's get right into it. Before we do, I want you to remember that these are guiding examples to help you reflect on your experiences and articulate your value effectively. Number 11, how do you approach situations where you need to balance competing perspectives and find common ground? This question aims to assess your conflict resolution skills within an HR setting, and here's how you might respond. In my previous role as an HR manager, I encountered a situation where 2 key team members in a project team were at odds over the direction of this project. Their disagreement was impacting team morale and the project timelines. My task was to mediate this conflict, ensuring that both employees felt heard and that a mutually beneficial resolution was found without compromising the success of the project. I held individual meetings with each employee to understand their perspectives and their concerns fully. Then I facilitated a joint mediation session where each party could express their viewpoints in a controlled environment. I emphasized the importance of finding a solution that aligned with the team's goals and the company's values. By encouraging this open communication and collaborating and problem solving, we were able to identify a compromise that incorporated elements of both perspectives. This approach not only resolved the conflict, but it also strengthened the team's dynamics. The project was back on track with renewed cooperation, and it was completed successfully. This experience highlights your ability to navigate employee conflicts and find balanced solutions. Number 12. Can you provide an example of a time when you had to present a compelling argument to stakeholders with differing opinions? This question is aimed at assessing your persuasive communication skills, and you might answer it like this. In my previous role, our HR team proposed the implementation of a new employee wellness program. However, there was a split in opinions among the leadership team regarding its necessity and the potential ROI. My task was to present a compelling argument to the leadership team that not only addressed their concerns, but also convincingly outlined the benefits of the wellness program. I conducted thorough research on the impact of employee wellness programs on productivity and retention. I also gathered case studies from similar organizations that had seen measurable success. Armed with this data, I crafted a presentation that highlighted the potential ROI, addressed the concerns about the cost, and showcased real-world success stories. I also proposed a pilot program to demonstrate efficiency before a full-scale rollout. After my presentation, the leadership team was convinced. We launched a pilot program, which led to a notable improvement in employee engagement and a reduction in sick leaves. The success of the program paved the way for a company-wide rollout. This example highlights your ability to effectively persuade and align stakeholders with differing opinions to a common goal. Number 13, how do you handle situations when your ideas or proposals are met with resistance? This question is designed to evaluate your resilience and adaptability in the face of opposition. You might answer it like this. In my previous role as an HR specialist, I proposed a new digital tool for streamlining our onboarding process. Initially, there was significant resistance from the IT department and senior management who were concerned about the integration and cost of the new system. My task was to address these concerns and demonstrate the value and feasibility of the proposed digital onboarding tool. I started by first gathering detailed feedback to understand the specific concerns. Then I conducted a cost-benefit analysis and researched how similar tools had positively impacted onboarding processes in other companies. I also coordinated with the IT department to assess the technical integration challenges. Armed with this information, I presented it to our senior leadership team, a revised proposal that addressed the concerns, highlighting the long-term benefits and the efficiencies we would achieve. This proposal was well received. The management approved a pilot test which demonstrated the tool's effectiveness in improving the onboarding experience and reducing manual workload. The pilot test also led to the full implementation of this system. This example showcases your ability to constructively handle resistance, adapt proposals based on feedback, and also effectively communicate the benefits of these initiatives. Number 14, can you provide an example of a time when you had to collaborate with cross-functional teams to achieve a common goal? This question explores your ability to work collaboratively across different departments, and here's how you might answer it. In my previous HR role, the company was undergoing a major digital transformation, which required extensive collaboration between HR, IT, and various operational departments. My responsibility was to lead the HR aspect of this transformation, ensuring that the workforce was ready and equipped for the changes. This included not only preparing employees for new digital tools, but also fostering a cultural shift towards a more digital-first mindset. I initiated a series of cross-departmental meetings to align objectives and strategies. We collaborated to identify skills gaps and training needs. I also worked closely with department heads to develop tailored communication plans to ensure employees were well informed and supported throughout the transition. I partnered with IT to develop a user-friendly training program for the new digital tools, and this collaborative approach resulted in a smooth transition with high employee engagement and minimal disruptions to operations. Post-transition surveys showed a significant increase in employee confidence in using the new digital tools. And this example highlights your ability to effectively collaborate with cross-functional teams to achieve strategic organizational goals. Number 15. How do you build trusting partnerships across the organization? This question assesses your relationship building and interpersonal skills within an organizational context. And this is how you might answer it. In my role as an HR manager in a rapidly growing company, I noticed that the fast expansion was leading to silos between departments, and this was affecting the interdepartmental trust and cooperation. My task was to help build and strengthen trusting partnerships between different departments, ensuring effective communication and collaboration across the organization. I initiated a series of cross-departmental collaboration workshops where team members from different departments were brought together to work on joint projects. I also implemented regular interdepartmental update meetings, and this was where teams share their current projects and challenges. Additionally, I established an open door policy in HR, encouraging employees from all departments to share their concerns and their suggestions. These initiatives led to a noticeable improvement in interdepartmental relationships. The workshops and meetings fostered a better understanding and appreciation of each department's challenges and contributions, while the open door policy in HR ensured ongoing dialogue and feedback. Over time, these efforts resulted in stronger, more trusting partnerships across the organization, enhancing overall productivity and employee morale. Number 16, describe a situation where you had to influence a decision or an outcome without formal authority. This question is looking to evaluate your influence and leadership skills in situations where you don't have direct authority, and this is how you might answer it. In my previous role, our company faced a significant challenge in employee retention within the tech department. Although I wasn't in a managerial position, I recognized the need to address this issue proactively. My goal was to convince senior management to invest in a robust employee engagement and development program. And this was specifically for the tech department. I started by gathering data on turnover rates and conducting informal interviews with departing employees to understand their reasons for leaving. Using this data, I then prepared a comprehensive presentation highlighting the cost implications of high turnover and the potential ROI of a targeted engagement program. I enlisted the support of influential colleagues who shared my concerns, and together we pitched the idea to senior management. Despite initial skepticism, the management was convinced by the data-driven approach and the collaborative effort. They approved the initiative, and over the next year, we saw a 30% reduction in turnover in the tech department. This example, it highlights your ability to drive change and influence decisions using data and collaboration, even without formal authority. Number 17, how do you maintain strong relationships with colleagues and stakeholders, even when you have differing opinions? This question examines your ability to manage relationships and handle disagreements professionally. You might answer the question like this. In my previous role as an HR business partner, I was involved in discussions with the finance department regarding budget allocations for employee development programs. There were differing opinions about the extent of the investment, and my task was to advocate for substantial investment in these programs while maintaining a strong collaborative relationship with the finance team, who were advocating for more conservative spending. I approached this by first understanding the finance team's concerns and their constraints. Then I presented data showing the long-term benefits and ROI of employee development programs. I made sure that my communication was respectful and fact-based, focusing on common goals rather than personal opinions. I also proposed a compromise by suggesting a phased implementation of the programs to ease budget concerns. Through open communication and by backing my arguments with data, I was able to reach a compromise with the finance team. We agreed on a scale implementation, which eventually proved successful and led to increased budget allocations in subsequent years. This example highlights your ability to maintain positive relationships and achieve mutually beneficial outcomes, even when you face differing opinions. Number 18. Can you describe a time when you served as a consultant to the business, addressing a talent planning or organizational challenge? This question aims to assess your strategic consulting skills in the HR context, and here's how you might answer that question. In my previous role as an HR consultant, a client company was facing high turnover rates among mid-level managers, and this was affecting organizational stability and performance. My task was to analyze the underlying causes of this turnover and develop a strategic talent planning solution to address it. I conducted a thorough analysis, which included interviewing exiting employees, surveying current managers, and reviewing industry benchmarks. The data revealed that a lack of career progression and development opportunities were the primary reasons for this turnover. Based on these insights, I worked with the company's HR team to design a comprehensive career development program. And this included clear career paths, mentorship opportunities, and tailored training programs. I also helped to implement a regular review process to monitor the program's effectiveness and make adjustments as they were needed. Within a year of implementing these strategies, the company saw a significant reduction in turnover rates among mid-level managers. And the program also received positive feedback for boosting employee morale and engagement. This example highlights your ability to serve as a strategic consultant, providing data-driven solutions to complex organizational challenges. Number 19, how do you approach assessing an organization's structure and relationships when implementing talent planning and organizational solutions? This question evaluates your ability to analyze and understand organizational dynamics for effective talent planning. And you might answer the question like this. At my previous company, I was tasked with improving the talent management process in a mid-sized organization that had recently undergone a merger. The challenge was to integrate two distinct company cultures and structures. My responsibility was to assess the existing organizational structures and relationships of both entities to develop a cohesive talent planning strategy that aligned with the merged company's goals. I began with a comprehensive analysis, which included reviewing organizational charts, conducting interviews with key stakeholders from both companies, and administering employee engagement surveys. I wanted to understand the cultural nuances and the existing dynamics. I also evaluated the current talent management practices that were in place. And based on this assessment, I developed a tailored talent planning strategy that addressed the unique needs of the merged organization while also focusing on unifying the culture and optimizing the team structures. The implementation of the strategy led to a more streamlined and effective talent management process. It facilitated smoother integration of the two company cultures, and it improved cross-departmental collaboration. This initiative was instrumental in stabilizing the workforce post the merger and also aligning talent management with the new organizational objectives. Number 20. Can you provide an example of a situation where you had to implement an organizational solution that took into account the existing structure and relationships? This question tests your ability to implement solutions within an established organizational framework. And you might answer the question like this. In my previous role as an HR manager at a mid-sized software company, we were facing challenges with interdepartmental communication, and this was affecting project timelines and overall efficiency. My task was to improve interdepartmental communication without disrupting the existing organizational structure and also while maintaining positive working relationships. I initiated a thorough analysis of the communication flow between departments, conducted interviews with key personnel, and reviewed feedback from employee surveys. And based on this information, I proposed the implementation of a cross-departmental liaison role. These liaisons would facilitate communication and collaboration between departments. I carefully selected individuals who were not only skilled communicators, but also respected in their departments, ensuring that the new roles were well received and that they were effective. The introduction of cross-departmental liaisons significantly improved communication efficiency and project collaboration. It led to a decrease in project delays and an increase in employee satisfaction related to interdepartmental interactions. This solution respected the existing organizational structure and leveraged internal relationships to enhance the overall effectiveness. Now, we are at the end of part 2, and I want to remind you that I did these questions in the STAR method because I wanted to set up the situation. I wanted to outline what your tasks was. I wanted to identify the action that you took and what it resulted in. It sounds very robotic as I am demonstrating how you might answer these questions, but I am telling you that the more comfortable you get with your own career story, the more conversational this will sound and the more authentic it will feel. You cannot get comfortable with your career story the night before you have an interview. This happens even before you start looking for an opportunity, especially in the HRBP space. And as I said in part 1, if you find that you are not having these experiences as you dig through your own career story, I want you to look for the ways that you can gather them. Maybe you volunteer at an organization. Maybe you speak with your manager about getting these opportunities in a role or in a stretch assignment. But if you find that you are not finding these experiences or these examples in your experience, I want you to look for the ways that you can seek out those opportunities. And I also want to remind you too that business partners are different in every organization. Some business partners are more administrative. Some business partners are more strategic. It really just depends on the organizations in which you are applying to. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.